Welcome to the Fashion Department, a podcast that will explore the world of fashion and how it informs all aspects of life, from dress and lifestyle to food and travel. And now, let me introduce you to your fabulous host, Tina Bercoli, a Greenwich, Connecticut-based wardrobe stylist and radio show personality with over 20 years in the fashion industry. Tina will share her take on style, trends, the business of fashion, and on being grateful. And now, here's your host.
Hello, fashionistas. Welcome to another episode of the Fashion Department. Once again, I'm joined by a fabulous guest in studio, which I always love. We have with us, Angela is back from Thrift. She's one of the owners of Thrift, a new store in Norwalk, Connecticut. Welcome back, Angela.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Thanks.
So excited. So if you haven't heard Angela and I chatting about Thrift on the first episode, pause now, go back and listen to it because it's good. But we're gonna unpack everything. We're gonna go back over what and who you are. First of all, new store called Thrift. You own it with your three sisters.
Correct.
Yes?
My three sisters. Yeah, my three older sisters.
Are you the baby?
I'm the baby. Yeah,
I love it.
Yes.
The baby.
Yes,
Okay, so I love this story, and I want you to tell our listeners, for those that didn't hear the first time around, how this all came to be. Like, you guys, so it's four sisters, and growing up in, I don't know where you guys grew up. I'm assuming the area.
In New York, and then we moved to Connecticut when my sisters got older.
Okay.
I was still young. I was still,
okay,
like 8.
Still the baby.
Yeah, still the baby, exactly.
So was thrifting always a thing? Did you kind of learn from your older sisters?
I wouldn't say like thrifting. I mean, we did thrift, but like we always were looking for like a steal. Like, we always wanted something nice for a cheaper price.
Of course.
I mean, who doesn't?
Right.
I mean, come on. I would say, like, my older sisters were bigger thrifters than us. Like, my sister went to photography school, and she was always looking for, like, outfits to dress us in and take pictures of us in.
Oh.
So that was big, my sister Nicole. Because, like, I remember doing, like, photo shoots with her with, like, I have pictures of us, like, dressed in, like, awesome 70s gear.
Oh,
so,
wow.
like, yeah.
Was she the oldest?
She's the oldest, yeah.
Okay, so she was in photography school taking pictures of her sisters.
Yeah, and she's, like, very artsy. And then my sister Danielle went to NYU, and that's when they found next to Tower Records used to be this, like, it was just an empty lot, and they had a flea market in there, and they would have, like, awesome stuff. So when my sister was like, well, we could do this, so let's, like, start buying stuff and selling it. And they did, and they would hunt down these awesome vintage iron-ons.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember iron-ons. Yep. We would go to, like, old record stores and everything and buy whatever they had. I was, like, 10 at the time, but I remember, like, being in the back, and, like, we were always looking for something awesome. So it was so
Tower Records, we're talking about Manhattan, for those of you that are not from the area. And this is Union Square, right?
This is like, a little up from Houston, so yeah.
I feel like
Houston,
or did they move to Union Square eventually,
no, there was one in Union Square, but there was one by, like, Astor.
Okay.
I think Astor was, like, 2 blocks up, so between, like, there and Houston.
Okay.
I want to say, like, I don't want to say streets because I'm not good at that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But between, before you got to Houston, it was Tower Records. So there was, like, this vacant lot.
Yep.
And if you know us, we're, like, vendors at heart. My father, we're, like, we love to sell something. So my father, entrepreneurs, we get that from my parents and my dad. But so, like, we were always selling something, like, whatever it was, we were trying to make a buck. Okay. So they started just because we liked it, not because we wanted to make money, just because we had fun doing it. Like, it's really fun to find something.
The hunt.
Yes.
Right?
Thrifting is, like, it gives you, like, a little bit, like, I want to say, of a high.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my God. And, like, you can't wait to tell somebody, like, can you believe what I found? Yep. So that was kind of a big thing back then. And they started, like, selling iron-on T-shirts and, like, crop tops and halter tops and, like, fabulous plastic rings. So that was really in, and, like, Levi's jeans. That was super in. So they started doing that, and they were making, like, great money on the weekends.
And by the way, this is I'm thinking this is, like, is this 80s, 90s?
This is 90s.
Okay, this
early
is 90s.
So
pre-social media.
Correct.
Not before the internet, but, like, earlier days.
Yeah, like, dial-up was just probably coming up.
Right. So how were they selling it? Where were they selling it?
So they were selling it in the flea market. Oh. No, in the flea market on the weekends. On the weekends. You would have a booth.
A booth, right,
yes.
right.
So, kids and trendy kids would come and buy, Smurf T-shirts or, Incredible Hulk or whatever.
And are you part of this now?
Yeah, like, I would go help them on the weekends when I was little. Yeah. Okay. And then growing up, like, we all did something. we were all worked retail. One of my sister Danielle never worked retail, but like we all have like the retail blood in us and selling. So like we could sell it,
Yeah. So you understand not just buying, selling, but the relationship of customer and, the
customer
rapport,
service.
Customer service.
Like my sisters used to, and us, it's like, can you find us something? And we'd be like, yeah, we'll find it. Come back next weekend. And if not, like, give us your number. We'll call you, like, So yeah, even like at the store, if people are looking for something, like I'll try my best. I'll keep you in mind. I'll send you an email if I find it. So yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we did that, and then we, eventually, everyone graduated college. We all had children.
Yep.
And then it was like, what are we going to do? Like, we're always antsy to do something fun and something artistic. And, we just happened to get into selling clothes because we did a couple conventions. Yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. Okay. So my sister Nicole saw this like awesome thrift convention. She was like, we got to do it. And we was like, okay. So we tried it and we like did phenomenal.
And at this point, so now you guys...
This is like after pandemic.
This is after
babies.
After marriage and babies.
Yeah. Our kids are like kind of bigger now, so it's like we could step away a little bit.
And you guys three of you live nearby and one lives out of state.
Correct. Three of us live locally in by Norwalk, Connecticut, New York, whatever, Fairfield County. And then my other sister lives in Texas, which is a big change for us because we're so obsessed with each other. Yeah. So it's hard.
I love
it. She finds some incredible, amazing scores. It's
okay. So now you guys go to, I'm putting together the timeline.
Yeah.
So you guys, pandemic hits, you're thinking, like most people, what are we going to do?
We need to,
what do we do? I think everybody did.
Yeah, I think everyone's antsy.
Everybody had a time to pause and reflect.
Yeah. And like our husbands all have jobs, but like we want to show our kids we could we know how to do it.
Right.
I think our kids forget, like they just see dads going, dads or whatever going to work, or like we worked before we had children. Like we had, everyone did something. We owned our own businesses before.
Right.
So like we know how to do that. My sister Elizabeth still owns her other business. So it's like we know what we're doing, but like what are we doing? We need to do something together. We work better together anyway.
Right.
So we were like, we have all these clothes, we have all this amazing stuff. So she had happened to stumble upon this thrift show, and she was like, we could do this.
Right.
Like, we were selling on all different platforms anyway. We had, like, Poshmark closets and Macari closets.
So you were all doing it individually?
Individually, which we probably shouldn't have. We probably should have worked together, but it was hard because we were all shipping from different places.
Right.
But, like, if we get stuff, we, share.
So you pooled your inventory, basically.
Yes.
And they went to this convention. You hit it out of the park.
Yeah, we were like, oh, my God, who knew that these kids existed, basically, or people exist? Because people are looking for something cool.
Yes.
And now with Instagram, people just want to take a picture and just look fabulous and then never wear it again.
Right.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to look good for a photo.
Right.
So we did that, and then we were like, we're doing another one, and then we did another one, and then it was like, well, we have all the inventory, like, instead of just like having it in our basements, we could put a store together. We literally filled a store with the four of us. Like, we didn't even buy anything because we had so much stuff.
Amazing. And you have a lot of stuff in that store. I love it.
We have a lot of stuff.
It's really good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so that's how Thrift was born. Sounds like it was just a natural progression.
Yeah,
I think
really, it was just over time. It was like, what are we doing? And we were like, all right, let's buckle down and just get a storefront.
And it became obvious, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like. Like, oh, we have all this stuff. Okay, let's do it. You know? Wow, what a great story.
Thank you.
Love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Being in business with your sisters, how easy or hard is it?
It's both.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
fair enough.
But business is like that anyway. Even if you did it with a stranger or did it by yourself. I mean, it's emotional, it's draining.
I'm sure pros and cons.
Hard work is hard work.
Right.
If you want to do it, do it.
I mean, the good thing is you all know each other so
exactly.
well.
And we literally could look at each other and we know. Like, that's the big thing. Like, I know what I'm good at. They know what they're good at. We bring our strengths together and our weaknesses, and, one will take over, and that's what's really good.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Love it. And I love that, thank God with the power of social media these days and something like Instagram, you can service someone that's on the other side of the country. Yeah. You can help someone that's in Texas, whether it's you or it's your sister in Texas.
And it's good for small businesses because you could reach a lot of people, and we're learning to navigate that, but it's nice.
Yeah.
It really is that you could reach people.
Yeah. Anywhere, really.
Yeah.
But
anywhere.
especially in the country,
yes.
It makes it a lot easier and a lot, I think, more of a recipe for success, especially if I think you guys, since it's more than one, I always say, two heads are better than one.
Yeah.
You have four.
Yeah.
That with 4 different experiences and 4 different strengths, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, That's amazing. I love the store. So
Thank
I'll
you.
tell the story about how I found you.
Okay.
Someone told me about the store months ago because you opened around May, you said.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, have to stop by. I hear things all the time. My memory, the older I get, unfortunately, the less I can retain. I forgot about it and was like, definitely wanted to do it, meant well, but summer came and went. And recently, not too long, a few weeks ago, I was driving in Norwalk. I was in a part that I wasn't really familiar with, and I made a wrong turn. And I don't like to make U-turns.
Yes,
I'm like a follow the rules kind of gal where my husband would just bang a U-ey. And I was like, no, I'm going to go all the way around the block. And I went all the way around the block and literally drove past your store, which is in the cutest little it's like new construction, right?
It's brand new. We're a brand new building.
The building, and there's a couple other stores on either side of you. So the whole thing attracted me. I literally slammed on my brakes and was like, what is that?
Okay, good, thank you.
And by the way, the name, it's called Thrift.
Okay, so we went back and forth about the name, and then my daughter was like, just name it Thrift. And
Who said that? Your daughter?
My daughter. She's like, just Thrift. And we're like, you sure? And we're like,
Smart girl.
Because thrift is like a hard word. Some people get turned off by thrift.
Yep.
Some people don't. I mean, if you're a real thrifter, like you know what thrifting is. But there's some people that don't know what that is.
Right.
So it's like, but I feel like it's
it.
everybody. Thrift is for everybody. Thrift is really saving money.
And I also feel like it's clear, it's to the point, it's simple, it's easy to remember.
Yes.
I've seen,
Thank you.
I've seen and been in thrift stores, vintage stores from here and to the West Coast and back again.
Yeah.
Even in Europe, when I go, I'm all about.
I heard they're amazing in Europe.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. That's another show we got to cover. And so I've seen so many names.
Right.
And some names I'm like, what? And other names I'm like, oh, that's cute, it's catchy, but I might not remember it.
Or how to pronounce it. That's a big thing. If I can't pronounce it, I'm screwed. I mean, dyslexia is running deep through me. If I can't pronounce it, I'm never remembering it.
And you won't remember it, right.
Yeah.
So I was like, perfect, to the point. It's no question
you.
like, well, what's there? I've heard things like with the word second in it, second chances, second time around.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, and or whatever. And sometimes I've seen some really cute names, but again, I don't remember it.
Right.
So this is easy. It's one word and it's to the point. So I love it.
Okay, good.
And I think that I want to talk about also something we touched on briefly in our last episode, but I think it's important. The difference between thrift and vintage.
Yes.
And you have both in the store, to be clear.
Yep.
So technically, the definition of something that's vintage is something that's 20 years or older.
Correct, yes.
So, like I said before, most of my wardrobe will be considered vintage.
That's okay. You got good stuff. That's all
right.
that matters.
Got good stuff. Yep. So, when I always say real vintage, vintage to me, that's something from 50s, 60s.
Yes, exactly. Me too.
But that also kind of shows my age. But I don't know. I feel like because how fashion is cyclical and it kind of repeats itself. So if I've seen it or worn it the first time around, I'm like, oh, it's not really vintage.
Right. I agree with that.
That's how I feel. And I think, most people would say. So thrift and vintage. So vintage being something 20 years or older. Thrift being, it could be new, it could be old, but just something that someone no longer wants and passes on. And it, like you said, it could be something brand new.
Yes,
correct?
Absolutely. Yes. Thrift is more like a deal. Like I need something now, I need to wear something, or even your kids need something, you're going to go to the thrift store to find it.
Right.
Where vintage is, you're looking for something specific and you're never going to find it ever again, and no one else is going to wear it.
Right.
Or have it,
Right.
So
and then when we break down the category of vintage, there's designer vintage. So not all vintage is super expensive.
Correct,
So there could be designer vintage. And like I said before, there are stores, I know there's stores in the city, specific stores that I will go to for if I want, I want costume jewelry from the 50s.
Yes.
That's Trifari or Oscar de la Renta or something. But I know I'm going to spend a little more.
Right.
But maybe it's a gift or maybe it's for something special that's very specific.
Correct, yes.
Versus when my favorite thing to do is shop vintage costume jewelry. Where it's just no name or maybe it's unsigned. I love.
Amazing.
I mean,
yes.
I've got quite the collection and I just feel like, no, it's never enough.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. And it's never going out of style.
It never does.
No, it doesn't.
And every time I wear a piece, I will get a compliment. I often will mix old with new. So I'll wear not old beads, but beads that are vintage.
Right.
That were given to me. or I found in a thrift store that were maybe from the 60s. They could be plastic beads.
Yes,
I will
yes.
pair them with like fine jewelry, like
amazing.
Cartier or something. And it looks amazing.
Yeah.
First of all, it makes the plastic look better.
Yeah, and the quality is so much different too.
Quality is very different.
The quality is so good.
Yes, the resin.
That's why they're still around.
Yes.
The quality is there.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, thinking about that. So, what are some tips, speaking of quality, you could give? Just a couple of tips on buying things that are vintage, whether it's jewelry or it's clothing, or anything that you look for.
Okay, yeah.
Like if you were shopping, what would you look for?
So, I would definitely look at the elastic band. That's a biggie. Elastic does.
Elastic on pants or skirt?
Pants, yeah.
Okay.
Because that just wears over time and it just pulls out and it won't come back in.
Okay.
So
check the elastic.
Yeah, check elastic. Check soles of shoes. It's called, what's it called? I can't think of the word.
When it's disintegrating?
Yeah, it disintegrates.
Okay.
And if you bend the sole in it, you'll know immediately if there's a little elasticity to it and it bends, you're fine. If not, keep moving. You will know. It will snap. Shoes will snap. Okay. So keep that in mind.
If they're not in good condition.
If they're not in good condition, yeah.
Okay.
And
jewelry, anything you can get for jewelry?
I mean, check it out. See if it rusts. Put it on. Don't be afraid to try stuff on. People always ask, can I try it on? Absolutely. Try it on. If you're going to buy something and even spend money, try it on.
Yeah.
We're happy to help you. Anybody is. I would say try it on. Okay. Just keep in mind, sizing, it's not the same.
Right.
Vintage and even, from decade to decade, it's not, if you don't think it's going to fit, it won't fit.
Right. And we mentioned this before. I think something to note, even when you see pictures online or videos, ask for in your instance, people could DM you or call you and ask the measurements, because sizing is very different. A small from the 70s is not the same as a small now.
Oh my gosh, no.
And the fabrics were very different.
Yes.
And no elasticity.
None.
No spandex or four-way stretch.
No. And keep in mind too, if you're going to be out all night, vintage clothing is heavy.
That's right.
So,
Good point.
If you're tired and your back is killing you, be aware, even because it's heavy. The coats and the jackets
especially the coats
heavy.
And jackets, yes.
Yes.
You're right, because the fabrics got better and better.
Right.
Some of the fabric got cheaper and cheaper, but, some of it got better and better wear-wise.
Yes.
So durability.
Yes.
And you're absolutely right. I just thought of something. I have a vintage coat, and it's brocade. It's got faux fur sleeves, cuffs on the sleeve. But the jacket itself, I love it, but it's literally somebody threw a big heavy rug over my back.
Yeah.
It's very heavy.
Yeah.
When I wear it, at the end of the day, I'm always God, my shoulders are a little sore.
Yeah, yeah. I always say when we're doing the lives, this coat is so heavy. I'm you won't realize that until you pick it up. But stuff was just beautifully made. It's totally different. The fabrics are totally different now. So,
and I mean, benefits of shopping, whether it's thrift or it's vintage, I feel some things are, number one, you're going to find unique pieces.
Yes.
You can curate your own closet or buy something for a gift for someone no one else is going to have.
No. Very
unlikely.
No one's going to come in the same prom dress as you.
That's right.
We have a lot of girls that are looking for dresses and stuff like that.
Yes.
They don't want to look like everyone else.
No.
Which is big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also helping support a local business.
Yeah.
In this case, a women-owned business.
Yeah.
Women, plural.
Yeah, and my sister Liz is a veteran, so it's veteran-owned as well.
Oh, wow.
Which is really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're veterans, women, local.
We're all about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're supporting
them. We don't discriminate.
And it's fantastic. And then you're also helping the environment.
Yes,
so
it's important. I mean, you don't realize, there are people in this world that don't even have running water, and it takes thousands of gallons of water just to make a T-shirt.
Right. And then we have
Keep it out
people
of the landfill.
that are buying the cheap stuff and throwing it away, or this fast fashion as they call it now.
Yeah.
So, and again, I understand, because that's a whole nother show we could talk about.
Yeah.
Budget. Some people, that's their budget.
Yeah.
H&M. Nothing wrong with that.
No,
Listen,
nothing.
I shop at H&M.
Yeah.
I try to buy their conscious collection because it's a little bit better for the environment. However, I think what's most important is how you buy it and then what you do with it.
I agree.
So if your budget is, listen, I'm going to buy the $20 sweater and that's it. buy the $20 sweater, but don't throw it away.
Correct. Yeah.
So either give it away, upcycle it, sell it, whatever you can do just to keep that cycle going. I think that's what's most important.
I do too. That's why I think upcycling is so big now.
It is.
The kids create whatever they want because they use it.
Right, it is. Yeah. And so to your point, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Because great segue, by the way. So upcycling meaning kind of changing something.
Yeah,
right?
Something you have and changing it with something else you have and making it new. I think that's why it's really big right now because kids want to save the environment, but fast fashion is cheap, and kids love that. And you want to stay in style as well. So I get it when you're young.
Yeah.
So like taking, whatever, it could be a pair of jeans and adding, a patch from a different shirt onto the pockets or something or, jazzing it up. So that's like really big right now. And a lot of people come to our store looking for like fabric or pieces, maybe like a graphic tee or they cut it up or, they're going to add it to a jean jacket, which is big.
Yeah.
Like a band t-shirt, they add it to like a jean jacket.
Yeah. There are designers that do that now and sell it. Like there's one brand, so Alice and Olivia, it's a brand I love, contemporary brand. They actually sell, and other brands do this too, they'll sell a graphic tee that has been upcycled and they'll add, and it's new. It's not, they're not selling thrift or vintage, but it's new, but they'll reproduce a Guns N' Roses t-shirt, let's say. So it's new, it's reproduced, and then they'll add like a chain to it. So it looks like it's upcycled. That particular may not be, because like I said, it's new.
Right.
But that's the idea.
Correct.
So you can kind of get inspiration from even current designers of how to do that. So embellishments, you could bedazzle stuff, you could, anything you can do. And here's the thing, like I know there are people out there that are saying, I've been doing that for years.
Yeah. Now there's a name for it.
Now there's a name for it, and it's a trend.
Yes, exactly. So you're up with the trends.
I think you've got to not consider it a trend. Just do it. I think it's smart. Even if you do it a little bit. I mean, whatever I can do to prolong, to give something longevity.
Yeah.
And if it means I'm going to change it and keep it an extra year or two, and then I'm going to resell it, or then I'm going to give it to someone that I know would really love it, all is good. I mean, it just keeps a cycle going.
And if you find a really good piece you love and you want to just, make it, extend it. A lot of people do that too.
Yeah.
I don't know, add something or, make it trendy again. That's how they keep a great piece trendy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, how many times, I'm sure you know this as well, because like I said, fashion is cyclical. So how many times you walk in a store and go, oh my gosh, I had this 20 years ago.
Yep, exactly.
And, I remember hearing that when I was young, and now I'm the gal saying that.
Me too.
But it's okay. I feel like it's all right. Hold on to certain stuff.
Yeah, if you really love it, hold on to it.
Yeah, and you can always tweak it and change it. I've done that. I'll never forget one time, this was years ago, I had a pair of very boring plain khakis. I think they were from J. Crew. This is years ago. And I wore them. I think I bought them because knowing me, especially in my 20s, why would I have plain khakis? I think I had to get them for work. I think it was a job I had. And I had to have khakis. I was like, ugh, okay, if you insist.
Right.
So I did. And then probably, I want to say my early 30s. It had to be at least 10 years later. I remember I took them out and they still fit and they were still cute, but I was like, I don't love them. I cut off the waistband. They were just buttons. I cut off the waistband, and then they just sat lower. On my hips, and they looked so cute. And I cut off the bottom and frayed the bottom. And all of a sudden, and then and again, I was younger, wore it with a little crop top, and suddenly I was like, I love these pants now.
You could make it be in fashion. Yeah,
it was so cool. So, all right, so I want to get back to the store.
Okay.
Let's give me three of your favorite things in the store, and let's talk about maybe how you could style them.
Okay, so I love this right now, I guess, because it's the holiday season. It's like a plaid sweater, but it's kind of like a jacket. I should post it.
Is it a jacket?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But I just love it. I probably put a black blouse underneath it or leave it open.
Okay. Plaid, is it like a red plaid?
It's
a black, what color
green
plaid?
and blue. It's more holiday.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little, I would say vintage.
Is it
little gold buttons? Yeah.
Button down the front?
Button down the front.
Like a cardigan?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's heavier. I love stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm very into the heavier jacket, not jacket though. Yeah.
So you'd wear it with a black shirt underneath?
I'd wear a black shirt underneath, either black pants if I was going out at night or even jeans.
Oh,
yeah.
love it. Okay.
Maybe a little boot, a shoe boot.
And it's women's or men's?
Women's,
okay.
yeah.
All right. What else you got? I love it.
I love the vintage jean jackets. I feel like that's really in right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you could do a lot with them.
Yeah. I mean, I know you like people don't like to wear jean on jean, but if it's a different color, maybe.
I actually like it.
Okay.
And I've seen a lot of influencers that like nail it.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think this is a little polarizing. I think some people like love it or hate it.
I agree. And it can age you too.
It can age you too.
Yeah,
but
if you don't know how to do it right.
But done right.
Yes.
Here's my tip on that, by the way, my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I would say be careful of the silhouette. So if you're doing a bell bottom that looks clearly very 70s, you got to keep on the bottom. You got to keep the top modern and current.
Interesting.
I wouldn't do 70s looking top denim shirt with a 70s bottom.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
So I would do that. If the jacket is very oversized and 80s looking, I would then do something very current on the bottom. And so I would do that just so it doesn't look too costumey or too much.
Okay.
But I'm all about denim on denim.
Okay.
And yes, I would vary the shades.
That's a good thing to know.
I would vary the shades of denim, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that looks great.
Yeah, I love a jean jacket.
And you can always, listen, I've done jeans with a denim shirt and a denim jacket, and I broke it all up with accessories.
Yeah.
So I had a sparkly belt on. I had a bunch of layered necklaces. I had my hair up in a bun with like a flower in my hair one time. It was, I know it sounds random, but it worked, I swear.
Yeah.
You know, with like a knee boot on, a suede boot. So it breaks it up, and yet it somehow still works.
Right.
So I love the denim on denim.
Me too. I think it's
good.
Yeah.
All right, and what
then
else
I would
you got?
say for men's, I love the graphic tees. So a graphic tee and with like a vintage jacket, which would be nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have or like a vest. The vests are very in right now.
Yes.
Or even like a corduroy jacket with a little, it's like sheep's wool, I guess, on the collar. Is
collar.
that what it's called?
Yep.
Like a white collar.
Like Sherpa?
Yeah, Sherpa. Yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
And vest meaning knit vest or like a suit vest?
No, I'm gonna say like an 80s windbreaker vest kind of thing.
Got it.
With like a graphic tee would be cute.
Got it.
That's very in right now.
Oh, yes, I like that. Yeah, I feel like the graphic tees are always a win. You can't go wrong with a graphic tee.
Men or women.
Men or women,
Yeah,
yes,
you tuck it in, you can put a belt, you
It's
could tuck
like
it
it's
half in,
ageless.
half out. Yeah.
It always adds that like cool factor to your outfit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a band tee. I
Yeah,
feel like,
and in the summer, the guys could like cut them off. That's like in right now too.
Yeah, I
Cut
like
off
it.
tee.
I feel like also, like concert tees, band tees.
Yeah.
They're always in. They just add that sudden cool factor.
Yeah.
You know, I have some band tees they're not vintage. They were new. And I was just like, why didn't I have this from when? You know, it's bands that I liked from years ago. And I'm like, why did it take me 25 years to buy this band tee?
It was like back in the day, you got a band tee or you went to the concert and you got a tee.
Went
You
to the
didn't wear
concert.
it.
That's right.
Because it needed to stay nice.
That's right.
Now it's like...
Yes, the more worn in, the better.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That's it. You
wanted to save it to remember that you went.
And
now it's
you're right. You
different.
only could find concert tees at the concert.
Right.
You're right.
Yes.
So if you didn't go, you didn't get one.
Yeah.
And I do remember also it being a little bit of a status thing. Like if you did wear it, you're like, you went. I remember being in high school, and this is going to date me, but I'm going to do it anyway. I remember people like going to like an NXS concert.
Oh my God.
I remember like Lisa culture.
Yes.
And if you saw someone had the tee on, you're like, oh,
forget
to
it.
the concert.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh
You
my
know,
God. Yeah.
so
Forget
different.
it. Yeah.
So different. All right, love it. All right, so it's gift giving season. We talked about some of your favorite things, and what are some of your favorite things to get? I've asked you what to give.
That's kind of hard.
I bet.
Get. My kids always get me like good necklaces. I feel like I love a necklace.
You love a necklace.
Yeah.
Good.
I feel like it's thoughtful.
And like costume or
Anything. I love
fine?
anything.
You love anything.
Yeah, I'm happy with anything. I'm not picky.
Oh,
I'm not.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want to give out once again the Instagram handle.
Yes, Thrift Connecticut spelt out.
Thrift Connecticut spelt out. Okay.
Yes. That's TikTok and Twitter as well.
So are you doing TikTok?
Okay. The whole TikTok thing is very complicated.
It is?
It's much more complicated than Instagram.
Agreed.
I feel like I understand Instagram. Maybe really not, but I think I do.
Right.
And TikTok is a whole new different thing.
100%.
My kids do help me. It's good to have a teenager around.
I was going to say your kids probably
You need a
teach.
teenager.
Yeah.
Even with Instagram, sometimes it just doesn't go well.
Absolutely.
TikTok is, I'm going to work on TikTok.
Okay. But you guys are on there.
Yeah, we're on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Along with doing Instagram Lives, I want to mention that.
Yes.
And that usually is Thursdays at 8.
Thursdays at 8, you will see us live. And, it varies. We will post that week and let you know.
That's
if
coming up.
Things are changing, or usually the day of, just give a reminder.
Okay.
Just so people don't forget, but it's fun.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Thank you.
And so holiday season coming up. Anything for the new year, or are you getting new stuff in?
We always get new stuff in, so check with us. Every week we get new stuff in. We are going to have an amazing new drop, upcycled stuff my sister's creating for us. And that's going to come in on Black Friday, so it will be here for Christmas shopping.
Okay.
So keep an eye out. Jewelry, fun stuff, clothing, a little bit of everything.
Okay, so basically just follow you on social media and you'll know.
Yes, we are always posting new stuff, what comes in. And, if you want to see something, send us a message and we're happy to show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I like to end every show with a game.
Okay.
So we're going to play a game. This time we're going to play Like It or Leave It.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you some fall winter trends. And you just tell me, no wrong answer, you like it or you would leave it.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Easy peasy. Here we go. The power suit.
Leave it.
Oh, interesting. Vegan leather.
Oh, I guess I have to be. All right.
Well, you don't have to. You can say whatever. Vegan leather being different than regular leather, by the way. First of all, it's cheaper, but it does make you sweat.
All right, keep it. We'll keep it.
All right, we'll like it. All right. Oversized blazers. Like it or leave it.
Like it.
Okay. I know the answer to this one. 80s style dressing.
Like it.
Knew it.
Yeah.
Cat suits.
It depends on a cat. Oh, like a pantsuit is different than a cat suit, so I'm going to say leave it.
Yeah, cat suit meaning the one
unitard
thing.
Leave that.
Yeah, that's
leave
very
that.
trendy.
That's for Kim right now. Leave that for Kim.
Very trendy right now. Okay, so leave it. Sequins for the day.
Yes.
Yes, we're in.
Glitz, the better.
Yes. Barbie core. You know what this trend is?
What is
It's
this?
basically wearing like head to toe hot pink.
Yes, I say yes. If
All
it makes you happy, do it.
Okay, she likes it. Equestrian style dressing. Horse riding, very equestrian, the jodhpurs, the boots.
I like it.
I like it too. I'm in. Head to toe neon.
I guess not. No, leave it.
Leave it.
Take a little touch.
Agree.
A headband.
No head to toe. Maxi skirts.
Yeah, I like a maxi skirt.
All right, like it. And then mini skirts.
For the youngins, I say yes.
Okay. All right, she
Not
likes
me
it.
personally, but
Okay.
yes, I like it.
All right, over the knee boots.
Oh, again, it depends on how you're doing it.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
want to
for
look
you.
like a porn. Not for me, no.
For you.
No.
Okay, so leave it. How about Ugg boots?
I mean, we live in New England, so I would say yes and no. It depends on where you're going.
Okay.
Supermarket, yes.
All right. How about open toe, peep toe shoes? Like very, very kind of 40s style looking.
Yes, if done right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fishnet stockings.
That's a hard one. Not for me, no.
Okay, leave it. All right, she's leaving it. She's leaving it. And logo dressing. Like we're seeing a lot of like logo prints, whatever it may be, whether it's designer or not. Logo dressing.
At my age now, no.
Yeah, for you personally.
Yeah, no,
All right,
not right
leave it.
now, no.
Agreed. All
If
right.
I was 19, yes.
Well, you did great once again.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. I had so much fun.
Thank you, Angela, for joining us once again in the fashion department. And last time, we want to give out that handle one more time. It's Instagram. It's Thrift
Connecticut.
Yep. And the website is
thriftct.com.
thriftct.com.
Thank you.
Be sure and check it all out and stop by the store. If
Yes,
not,
come say hi.
come
We'd
say
love
hi.
to see you guys.
Follow her. Follow
Yes,
them.
please follow us. Come. You won't be disappointed.
No, not at all. Thanks again. And
Thank
come
you.
back and join us again.
Oh
on
my
the
God,
fashion
I'd
department.
love to. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me in the fashion department. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. For more inspiration and fashion content, check out my website and follow along on Instagram at wardrobe_envy. And a special thanks to the Factory Underground Studio for recording and producing this show. See you next time.